Hello, and welcome to Drone My Home Video Services. This is our YouTube channel, and my name is Frank. I'm your pilot, and I just wanted to take the opportunity to walk you through some of the videos we've done, maybe give you some insight into some of the flights, and just get to know everyone in the community a little bit better. So sit back, enjoy the dulcet tones of my voice, and feel free to yell at the screen or leave a comment and tell me I'm full of it. But yeah, definitely like, subscribe, and tell all your friends. Anyway, let's get going. So this is the first video from a couple of years ago, and this was a video that we originally did at Marie Curtis Park. I ended up taking down the original because it didn't upload properly, and it kept stalling out. Not sure what was going on there, YouTube. But I'm going to let this run for a second, and then we'll get back into it, and I'll go through some of the finer details. Now, for those of you who don't know, Marie Curtis Park is in the southern part of Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and it's right on the shores of Lake Ontario, which is what you're looking at here. Of course, this is one of the better mornings and certainly some beautiful vistas. And as you can see, there's a lot of green space. One of the things that the city prides itself on is trying to maintain as much green space as possible while developing and moving forward. So one of the purposes of this flight was to try and do an extended clip of a single flight. So instead of doing a bunch of short 1 minute or 2 minute clips, to do an extended clip of 10 to 12 minutes, just recording the whole time and seeing if I could make it work as a video goes. So as you can see, there's obviously few issues here and there, sometimes turning a little too quickly, but otherwise keeping the camera focused and on something interesting, so that so you're not, looking at a batch of trees. But it was an interesting experiment, and it was an interesting uh, exercise, just in terms of maintaining control of the drone, keeping the shots interesting. In this case, as you can see, sliding the drone to the right while rotating the camera around, so this way you get a full view of the park, but not leaving you with a static shot of just having the drone park, turn, fly forward, park, turn, fly forward. Um, One of the benefits of this park is it has multiple areas, including a boat launch and a bit of a, I guess that would be, I don't know, would that be a boardwalk? It's not really a boardwalk, but certainly a jetty out into the lake, and a larger parking area. And from here, you can actually see my staging area. That's me down by the red SUV down there. This was fairly early in the morning, so didn't really have too much in the way of traffic or other people hanging around, which is one thing I like to do just to keep it safe and simple. And also, it's a element of my license, so don't want to violate that either. Um, This is obviously where the tracking starts getting interesting, because you end up having to make adjustments to the camera so you're not always filming at the same angle, especially on a longer video. It can be challenging, and it is also something that you want to get into the practice of doing. A few exercises to get used to the idea and just get used to the way the controls work. But otherwise, things came out pretty well. The video worked out. It was certainly very interesting, very dynamic. Um, the coloring and the camera on the Mavic are amazing from what you can see. It's an incredible piece of equipment, the Air 2. So this was definitely the ideal drone for this flight. Okay, so just a quick reminder here while we transition up the canal a little bit and scare a few geese. Um, Visit my website at www.dronemyhome.ca to see some other work and some other videos I've done, or follow us on, obviously, on YouTube or Instagram. And my Instagram is at fscally jr. So you can see my videos there as well. But primarily we're posting to YouTube at the moment, and it seems to be the best avenue for these videos. Now, getting back to the flight, you saw it skip a little bit there. That was actually the drone stopping the recording and starting a new recording on the video card so that the files didn't get too large. Now, of course, this was one of the things I wanted to see in doing this experiment, was to see if there were any quirks like that. And obviously it paid off. They got to see whether there was any skip, if it was a seamless transition between the two video files, if there was any buffering between the two video files, so it shared a couple of seconds in order to prevent a skip like that. But as you can see, it's relatively seamless. It's not that noticeable, especially considering you have to go. I think it's about 6 minutes in before the video actually does that and splits the video up. So in reality, this one long flight was actually three separate videos all strung together, but it was all recorded in a single flight off of a single battery onto a single card. So there was no real editing other than a bit of color correction. Just brought down the brightness a little bit because it was very bright that day. Like I said, got to scare the geese a little bit. And here's my little dronemyhome.ca bug again, which I don't know. I don't find it that obtrusive, and it's a good little reminder to like and subscribe. Now, one of the interesting things was you can tell that there's not a lot of wind or, you know, temperature issues or weather concerns today, but off in the distance, there was actually a number of lightning strikes being recorded to the northwest. So I was sort of keeping one eye on what I was doing with the drone and one eye on the weather just in case the storm front moved in, very quickly. And turns out later that day, I think it was into the evening, the storm actually moved in and was inundated the area with heavy rains and lightning and stuff. As far as the flight goes, though, there was no issues, no unforetold events. So the canal goes up to Lakeshore Avenue West, which is the road back there with the bridge. Now, of course, don't want to get too close to the road. That could cause consternation, depending on who's paying attention. But the fact is that we just want to keep it a nice and light flight. And this entire flight was done in tripod mode with 2K 60 frames per second. So it's definitely one of my more interesting flights. And actually, I was just checking the dates. This was actually done in September, not the beginning of the season. Got that confused with one of my other flights. This was done in September, so it was later in the season, towards the end of the summer. Well, closer to the middle of fall here in Toronto. And as you can imagine, things cool down pretty quickly after the beginning of September. So we we have about 8 minutes of summer in this city, and 11 months, 29 days, and 52 minutes of winter. One of the problems with having such a long winter, fall, and spring is you deal with a lot of weather variables. So things like wind, rain, uh, below zero temperatures, stuff like that. But Fortunately, this late September day in 2021 didn't really have that issue. So this was, as you can see, there's a mower down there. They're trimming the grass, probably the last time they trimmed it for the season, and walker. So just angling the camera full down 90 degrees just to follow that roadway into the park a little bit. Um, I'm an old history buff, so the sort of straight down, bottom of the plane view is I always get a kick out of this view. Just sort of that, you know, terrain mapping look at the world and seeing it. And of course I couldn't resist, so I dropped in my bug here as well. Anyway, I'm gonna let this run for another minute or two, and we will be getting back to the starting point of where we originally started. And the entire flight covered about a kilometer of distance. So it was all kept to within a 400-meter radius of the original starting point, but overall it covered about a kilometer. So a fair bit of distance, and again, the DJI was rock solid. You can see me sliding a little bit to the left, follow the path of the road. Again, something else I had to keep in mind when I was piloting, because I didn't want to turn because I know the road continues north. And here, just adjusting it forward a little. Okay, here we are getting to the roundabout just before the parking lot. And we'll be bringing the flight to an end in just a couple of moments here. So I hope this gave you some insight into just the video and what we're trying to accomplish on the channel. Thank you for watching. And of course, like and subscribe and turn on the notifications. Tell all your friends, make sure they like and subscribe as well. You can see the pickup truck took the wrong route in the roundabout. I don't think that roundabout's very well signed at all. But people are starting to show up, so decided to call an end to the flight here. But it was a beautiful day, and I'm glad I was able to capture it. So thank you for joining me. Again, my name's Frank, and this is Drone My Home and our YouTube channel. And hope you have a wonderful day, and join us again soon. Stay safe and take care.